keeping you informed, prepared, and connected. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay.
All right, now you are streaming 10 Tampa Bay Plus. I'm Frank Wiley, and right now in Tampa, day 3 of testimony in the Jermaine Bass murder trial. He is accused of shooting his 2 children, killing one of them. This morning, the lead detective taking the stand, showing jurors what he saw at the scene. Back in 2022, at that time, Bass claimed that shooting was an accident. Detectives admitted several pieces of evidence never tested or even sent to a lab. Bass is charged with premeditated murder and aggravated child abuse. And right now, 10 Tampa Bay is inside that courtroom. After this newscast, you can watch that trial live right here on 10 Tampa Bay Plus. Go to the homepage and select the feed from the courtroom that's on the bottom of your screen. Meantime, an update out of Hillsborough County because a man is now in jail accused of punching a Dollar General worker in the face. Deputies believe Kyle Clark, pictured right there, knocked out 3 of the woman's teeth at the store. That was on 56th Street. We shared her story earlier this month.
You really need to leave the store. And when I say it, I can't see him. As I'm finishing the words is when he comes walking around, and it looks like he's leaving till he just reached in and punched me right in my mouth.
She says her dental work will cost her $15,000. Clark is charged with felony battery. He will be in court later this afternoon. Happening tomorrow, a plastic surgeon accused of killing a lawyer and dumping his body in the Everglades is expected to be in court. Tomas Kozowski is charged with the murder of Stephen Cozy. Back in 2023, authorities say Cozy was representing Kozowski's former co-workers in a lawsuit that Kozowski filed against them. Police have not found Cozy's body, but prosecutors say evidence ties Kozowski to the crime scene. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office arresting a man on first-degree murder charges, all in connection to a fatal overdose in Valrico. Detectives say Joseph Bellamy supplied narcotics to Sean Wallace, who was found dead last December. Bellamy is charged with murder resulting from the unlawful distribution of a controlled substance. Meteorologist Colleen Campbell standing by with your weather impact forecast. Colleen, what you know good?
Hey Frank, I know that we have a lot of sunshine to enjoy this week after a soggy start on Monday. I think many of you will like this forecast. Let's take a live look around the region. Downtown Tampa, a couple of puffy clouds out there. Same thing for Armature Works. For everywhere else, the sun is shining nice and bright. And those clouds, let's be real, they're not even impacting the forecast that much. Plant City, I have that zoomed in so you can see the rides getting ready to go for tomorrow for that festival. As we look at Pinellas and Hillsborough County right now, temperatures are in the lower to mid 70s, but Lutz is tapping into the 80s right now. So we have a nice warm up, a little bit cooler along the coast. Tarpon Springs, Newport, Richie, Trinity, all sitting in the lower to mid 70s at this time. Clearwater Beach, the coolest at 64. We had a little bit of fog this morning. Not an issue right now, of course, now that it warmed up nicely for us. As we look at temperatures for today, going into the mid to upper 70s, depending on your location. This is for Tampa, where the winds will be nice and light and pretty variable too. And there's another live look outside because we can't get enough of it. Right, Frank?
Gotta get out there. Thank you, Colleen. Happening this afternoon, a court battle continues over more than 300 graves discovered under the Frank Crum headquarters. That's in Clearwater. 10 Investigates Emerald Morrow tells how we got here.
Matt Crum wants Clearwater to be a city of its word.
They need to do the right thing. And frankly, this is the point of small city, county government, is to deal with things like this, and they're just absent.
Over the last 5 years, archaeologists have found 328 graves from the St. Matthew's Baptist Church Cemetery at the Frank Crum headquarters and under Missouri Avenue. Crum says initial commitments from the city to address this grave dilemma have faltered.
We haven't made as much progress as we thought we would have.
Now, Frank Crum is suing the Clearwater Redevelopment Agency. The lawsuit says the CRA breached a 1998 development agreement, which promised the previous owner that all graves had been moved. But Frank Crum didn't know about the graves because it didn't buy the property until 2004.
IMR Global found out that at one point there was a cemetery here, and they said, if we're going to go forward with this, we need you guys to guarantee that all the remains that were here were removed. And so the city put in that agreement, yes, we guarantee and warranty that all the remains that were here had been removed.
But as we know, they were not.
It's pathetic. I mean,
we're talking about generations of history and remains that need to be memorialized. That was where
Barbara Story Love grew up in the Clearwater Heights community where this cemetery was first established. She's part of a group working with Frank Crum and the city to find a solution.
My sister was buried here.
So is Carlton Childs.
I'm tired of not getting answers. I'm tired of not seeing any progress. We're tired of hearing the same thing over and over.
Over the years, city managers have repeated promises to be part of the solution and took early action to help search for the graves when the community raised concerns. But the manager most involved suddenly died. His replacement appeared just as committed, but got fired. And now there seems to be a change of attitude from the top.
There are many ways that this problem can be solved. As far as using taxpayer money to do some things, that's a difficult challenge for us. Let's use the taxpayers' money.
It's an unsatisfactory answer for Crum.
I personally think that it's the responsibility of local government to step in when your citizens, an issue like this has happened.
Do you blame the city for this?
At this point, I do.
Crum wants the graves moved from his property to the North Greenwood Cemetery. That's where graves were supposed to go way back in 1940 when the city stopped burials at St. Matthew's. The only problem is North Greenwood sits under the old Curtis Fundamental School, where crews found more than 50 graves after our reporting. Some people want the school torn down so those resting souls can be free.
How in the hell can you dig a foundation and not hit nothing to know that there's a graves here? Why did you continue to build?
A question only the past can answer. But for now,
no one can take back the wrong that was done. We can only move forward and make it right. And I think we all have a responsibility to work together to do that.
Emerald Morrow, 10 Investigates.
And today's hearing, starting at 2 o'clock, Emerald will be there for that. Of course, we will let you know what happens. And Emerald has been following this search for erased cemeteries for several years now, 6 years. You can find all of her coverage right here on 10 Tampa Bay Plus. Want to go ahead and get you in the know with some of the other stories making headlines this afternoon. Texas now reporting its first death from the ongoing measles outbreak. Officials confirming a person in West Texas died overnight. They have not said how old that patient was, but the outbreak has grown to more than 120 cases in West Texas. Officials say this started with unvaccinated children. President Trump announcing plans for a new gold card visa. It would offer a path to U.S. citizenship for $5 million of an investment. According to the White House, the goal here is to attract wealthy investors while eliminating fraud concerns. The president suggesting the government could sell up to 10 million of these visas to reduce the national debt. More details about those visas still unclear. A recent report from Redfin highlights the struggle for minimum wage workers right here in Florida. It says those workers would need to work an estimated 115 hours a week just to afford the average rent. That is nearly $1,800 a month. Florida's minimum wage currently $13 an hour. It is set to reach $15 next year. Coming up on 10 Tampa Bay Plus, workers let go from a local VA hospital. Their reaction to the ongoing federal budget cuts.
The stars of our show.
I am your host, Ryan Seacrest.
The Wheel You Love is back.
Yes! Let's have some fun.
This season will truly be unlike any other.
This has never happened before on Wheel of Fortune.
With bigger trips.
Yeah, baby.
Bigger prizes.
I'd love to take you backstage to the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
And bigger surprises.
There it is.
What a great show.
Let's do it again tomorrow.
Wheel, weeknights at 7 on 10 Tampa Bay.
Morning news you can watch live or anytime.
With 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
With breaking news from overnight, weather to plan your day.
Make sure that you have a way to get alerts. I'm going to continue to follow these storms and much more exclusive content you can only find here.
But when life happens and takes you away from the story,
10 Tampa Bay Plus has you covered.
Keeping you informed, prepared, and connected when you have time to catch up.
Watch 10 Tampa Bay live weekday mornings from 5 to 7.
Or on your time with 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
When the weather changes, you feel the impact. And you told us alerting you when the weather turns severe is the most important thing we can do. That's why 10 Tampa Bay is taking forecasting to the next level with weather impact alert days. So you'll know when to be alert, how the weather will impact your day, and how to keep your family safe.
Keeping you informed, prepared, and connected with Weather Impact Alert on 10 Tampa Bay and 10 Tampa Bay Plus. Keeping you informed, prepared, and connected. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay.
We are keeping you informed on this. Homeowners insurance in Florida, the number of Citizens policies is down to 844,000, the lowest in nearly 3 years. Last week, the state's insurer of last resort transferring nearly 100,000 policies to private companies. Citizens has been offloading policies since 2023. At that time, the company had 1.4 million. The company expects to have about 770,000 policies by the end of the year. A new proposal in Tallahassee could impact your bank account. Here's how Governor DeSantis considering getting rid of property taxes.
You have to continue to pony up money to the government just for the courtesy of using your own property. We don't tax like that in almost any other instance.
A proposal filed in Tallahassee would commission a study on the impacts of eliminating property taxes. A constitutional amendment would need to be proposed and put on the ballot. Then it must get 60% of the vote to pass. Keeping you connected to the impact of federal job cuts right here at home, because probationary workers at the James A. Haley Veterans Hospital say they were laid off this week. 10 Tampa Bay's Chris Hurst reports.
According to my supervisors, the 4 months I've been working there, I became a key player to the team.
Charles Long served 20 years in the Air Force, including Operation Enduring Freedom.
When 9/11 popped off, I got deployed over into the Middle East to the different locations.
In October, he got a job at the Tampa Veterans Hospital, restocking medical supply closets in the inpatient wards, and was reminded each day of his father, who was treated for cancer by the VA.
I see the patients, I can't help but to see them as I go to the supply closets, and then it will remind me of my pops.
Yesterday, he came in on an off day to fill out his 5 accomplishments as required by Elon Musk in the Office of Personnel Management. It wasn't an hour later, he says, when he got the email terminating his position.
No complaints to my work performances. I haven't gotten any evaluation to tell me if I'm doing good or bad.
His story echoes 2 other supply technicians fired today who talked to me over the phone, but ultimately declined to appear on camera.
No federal employee is entitled to their job, right?
Supporters of the cuts to the federal workforce say voters wanted the massive shakeup when they voted President Trump back to the White House.
Certainly sympathetic to anyone who gets laid off. Trump ran on reducing the size and scope of the federal government. So he's doing exactly what he campaigned on.
While Long understands the reasoning, he worries how those hospital shelves will get stocked.
They're not going to have what they need to treat the patient. The nurses are going to get frustrated. The patients are going to be uncomfortable, in pain.
Now, Long says those still working there are afraid of losing their job. We asked the hospital to confirm the firings. We will let you know when we hear back. Happening tomorrow, the Florida Strawberry Festival kicks off in Plant City. This year, the Wish Farm stage is upgraded for all of the concerts out there. And folks, we'll have more places to park too. The festival running through March 9th. The Strawberry Festival Parade is Monday at 1 p.m. Check this out right here, a live look at the home of the Strawberry Festival in Plant City. You see right there in the distance the Ferris wheel, and you know what, clear skies for the most part, colleagues.
Yeah, we'll have beautiful weather tomorrow too, and Frank and I were just talking, my stomach's growling with all the food.
What's for lunch?
Yeah, I don't know, something. Because my stomach, I don't know if I can make it through the rest of the show. All right, so we have beautiful weather ahead for tomorrow. We had all the rain for the beginning of the week, and now we're sitting dry and pretty. Let's look at that planner for the Strawberry Festival. Plant City, gates open at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and then 12 p.m. is when the Midway opens. Temperatures starting off around 10 a.m. will be in the 70s. That's pretty warm for a morning mark. And then we're getting warmer from there. In fact, we're approaching 80 as we move into the afternoon. So that's tomorrow. Let's get back into today. Currently, temperatures are in the mid-70s for Newport Richey, Brooksville, Crystal River sitting at 77. We have some more mid-70s for Lakeland, Dade City. everyone's pretty much even at this point. The only cooler locations would be along the coast with that influence of the Gulf. St. Pete is just under 70 degrees right now. Port Manatee sitting at 65. Sarasota at a nice 73. Very comfortable outside. We do have a slight little bit of humidity out there, but it's nothing too bad, right? 24-hour temperature change. We're anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees warmer, especially for areas along I-4 here. So yeah, quite the warm up following yesterday. Yesterday we finally dried out after all that sopping rain on Monday. And Monday that rain was welcome, by the way. We will have the drought monitor for tomorrow. It's updated every Thursday. And of course we bring you the latest and we'll have that to look forward to, see if we chipped away at some of those drought conditions. For today, again, if you have outdoor plans, which I suggest it, we have temperatures that will be warming up nicely into those upper 70s. High pressure is in control. That's nice, dry, sinking air. So that means rain is staying away. There is a little bit of rain for anybody that's down by Fort Lauderdale and Miami, but those are just very light showers along the coast. Here's our front that will be sweeping through come tomorrow, but it's not bringing us any rain. Could bring us a little drop in the dew points, but that's about it. It's a weak front and it's pretty dry too. As we look at our winds, you notice the wind arrows are moving every which way here. That means our winds are light and variable, which is nice for any of our mariner friends. Anybody that has plans to go out on the water. Looks like Clearwater Beach right there is pretty busy. We have winds from the north at 5 knots, seas 1 to 2 feet, and nice smooth conditions, especially for Tampa Bay. So Clearwater, you see those gentle waves there. For today, 77 for that daytime high. Gorgeous sunshine, a little bit warmer, but we'll take it, right? February started off warm, and it looks like it will be finishing that way as well. Temperatures tonight going down into the lower 60s. We could have some faint fog out there, but it shouldn't impact your morning commute too much. Nothing compared to what we had earlier this month, a couple weeks ago. Here we are around 4:30 tomorrow morning. So most of the fog will be across the central and the eastern side of the peninsula. So that's for anybody that's traveling. However, around our area, we might have a little bit along the coast, but again, it's not going to be a widespread issue. As far as rain, again, we have a front that's dropping in come tomorrow. This model's really blowing up the rain chances. Most of us will be pretty dry. If anything, they'll see a few stray raindrops across southwest Florida. For the 7-day forecast here, by the way, the Rays spring training 1 p.m. So about 10 minutes from now, they have first pitch down in Fort Myers for our Rays. Hey, for the rest of the next week, look at that. Plentiful sunshine to go around. Temperatures stay in the 70s. Again, a little bit cooler this weekend by just a degree or two. Fantastic weather to close out the February book.
Fantastic. And check this out right here. This afternoon, officials at TPA gearing up for spring break. The rush, right now. The airport is expecting a record number of travelers between March 1st and April 6th. TPA also expecting to break the record for its busiest travel day. I feel like we say this every year right here in Florida. Right now, the big board showing 28 delays, no cancellations. Right now, a pioneer working to revolutionize air travel. They are gearing up to fly nonstop around the world on hydrogen. Tina Kraus reports.
Bertrand Piccard is no stranger to the skies. This aircraft hangar in France is his workshop, where he's looking to revolutionize the flight industry with this hydrogen-powered plane.
And the goal is to fly 9 days around the world, non-stop, and produce 0 emissions.
In a world dominated by planes that run on fossil fuels, the Swiss climate activist is promoting a cleaner flight path.
We take green hydrogen, that means hydrogen that is produced through renewable electricity, liquefy this hydrogen and put it into huge fuel tanks.
Those tanks power Climate Impulse, a 2-seater plane with the wingspan of an Airbus 320, designed to fly for 9 days straight. This isn't Piccard's first foray into the future of flight. Back in 2015, his Solar Impulse aircraft that runs on sunlight made history by flying around the world, but it wasn't practical for commercial aviation. Piccard says his hydrogen plane is and flies at altitudes that can harness energy from turbulence in the atmosphere.
And I believe that the airlines are also in the future going to use the same type of energy from the atmosphere in order to save fuel and to be more efficient.
A test flight is set for next year to see if the technology can help clear the runway for cleaner, greener travel. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
How about that? A little history, too. Picard's grandfather was a physicist who made record-breaking hydrogen balloon flights back in the 1930s.
Weight loss drugs are gaining popularity for heart health. I'm Bradley Blackburn with how cardiologists and patients are using them.
Celebrating Black History Month, we're spotlighting trailblazers in our community. Ken Welch made history in 2022 when he was sworn in as the first black mayor of St. Petersburg. A third-generation resident of the city, Welch comes from a family of political leaders. His father was the first black man and second black person to serve on St. Pete City Council. Before being elected as the 54th mayor of St. Pete, Welch served on the Pinellas County Commission for 20 years. The mayor has 2 daughters and has been married to his wife for more than 30 years.
Did you cut the cord?
But still want your local news for free?
It can happen. Just stream 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
And the best part? You can watch us live.
Or catch up with what's happening anytime you want. It's always the latest news, updated weather forecasts, and a whole lot more. You can even customize your favorites so you see what you want right away.
We think there's no better way to stay informed, prepared, and connected. Stream the free 10 Tampa Bay Plus app now.
And it's like a movie script. It's family rivalry, betrayal, and murder.
They cover America's most fascinating true crime stories.
One way or another, that's an execution.
Absolutely.
Every case.
Who would want to hurt him?
Every clue.
This is dynamite for an investigator.
Every mystery that keeps you guessing until the very end.
Does everyone's jaws drop?
Dateline, 5 times a week.
Watch weekdays at 4 on 10 Tampa Bay.
Morning news you can watch live or anytime.
With 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
With breaking news from overnight, weather to plan your day.
Make sure that you have a way to get alerts. I'm going to continue to follow these storms and much more exclusive content you can only find here.
But when life happens and takes you away from the story,
10 Tampa Bay Plus has you covered.
Keeping you informed, prepared, and connected when you have time to catch up.
Watch 10 Tampa Bay live weekday mornings from 5 to 7.
Or on your time with 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
Okay, in case you didn't know, February, Heart Health Month. So more cardiologists out there are turning to a surprising tool, all to treat patients. Bradley Blackburn explains.
In the past year, Vanessa Lindley has seen the number on the scale drop, and she's smiling because of what it means for her heart.
I turned 52 last year, and my mom died at 53. And so as I was approaching, that was another motivation because I want to be here for my kids.
The mom and wealth advisor had high cholesterol and a family history of heart disease, so she came to see cardiologist Dr. Isilma Fergus at Mount Sinai in New York.
You need to be less than 70. Well, let's do it.
Doctors have long known excess weight can hurt the heart. It's why Dr. Fergus and many other cardiologists are now prescribing weight loss drugs like Wegovy. Lindley started it after trying diet and exercise.
And with the help of the drug, I was able to lose 30 pounds.
Changes to body mass can lead to other measurable changes too.
One of the big things that really causes or drives these numbers of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and high sugar is your weight or obesity.
One study shows for overweight patients, GLP-1 drugs reduce the risk of stroke, heart attack, and death by 20%. They are a powerful tool, and doctors can help determine whether benefits outweigh potential side effects, like digestional problems or rarely pancreatitis.
It's totally a game changer to have it in the toolkit.
Last year, Lindley completed the New York City Marathon and wants others to take the message to heart that help is available.
A busy working mom, trying to manage a lot of things in my life overall and feeling like I'm trying. But I needed some assistance.
She says it's medicine that can have real effects inside and out. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
And more insurance plans will now cover the cost of medically necessary weight loss drugs. Happening in the next 2 hours, Baycare is opening a new behavioral urgent care center. They say that new clinic offers walk-in and same-day appointments for mental health and substance abuse services. The grand opening, 2:30 in Newport Richey. Staying with health right now, Florida's first behavioral health teaching hospital getting ready to accept patients. Tampa General Hospital, USF Health, and LifePoint Health officially cut the ribbon on TGH Behavioral Health Hospital. They say it is a big leap forward in addressing mental health needs in our area. The hospital, by the way, on West Kennedy Boulevard will start taking patients next month. Up next, Survivor returning for its 48th season. Hear from the local woman playing for $1 million.
Hi, I'm Sarah Rosario. There are several transportation projects to make you aware of. Let's bring you up to speed. If your drive is going to take you through downtown Tampa overnight, there's an ongoing construction project that's going to have some intermittent lane closures. So here are the details that you need to know. This is for drivers along I-275 and I-4. Downtown Tampa is going to have some temporary closures in place. This is exit 45A, and it's going to be partially closed in places for some emergency maintenance repairs. And then Palm Avenue, between the areas of Central Avenue to Nebraska Avenue, will also have some intermittent lane closures there. And then I-4 from 21st Street to I-275. These closures are going to be in place between the hours of 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. So give yourself some extra time. Watch out for construction workers and expect delays. Wake up with us here on 10 Tampa Bay. We'll be keeping you informed on all traffic delays and hopefully make your morning drive just a little smoother. I'm Sarah Rosario. That's your up to speed traffic.
Jeopardy is for everybody.
That's amazing. Oh, yeah.
With players just like you.
Paramedic, retired teacher, psychiatrist.
I'm a little bit competitive.
That's the spirit.
Watch their victories.
We have a giant killer.
And heartbreaks.
Oh, no.
The next super champion could be anyone.
It's almost like a superhero origin story.
It could be you.
Oh, wow.
It's all happening on Jeopardy!
Jeopardy weeknights at 7:30 right here on 10 Tampa Bay. Weather impacts your life every day. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. You can find out about any change in the weather with our 10 Tampa Bay Plus app. Just stream for the latest forecast, any weather impact alert, updated tropics forecast, and take a live look at the radar. Anytime you want, and it's free. It's just one more way we're helping you stay informed, prepared, and connected. Stream 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
Here are the stars of our show.
I am your host, Ryan Seacrest.
The Wheel You Love is back.
Yes! Let's have some fun.
This season will truly be unlike any other.
This has never happened before on Wheel of Fortune.
With bigger trips.
Yeah, baby.
Bigger prizes.
I'd love to take you backstage to the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
And bigger surprises.
There it is.
What a great show!
Let's do it again tomorrow.
Wheel, weeknights at 7 on 10 Tampa Bay.
Check it out, the premiere of Survivor 48, now just hours away, right here on 10 Tampa Bay and Paramount Plus. One of the contestants, 34-year-old Charity Nelms, a flight attendant who lives right here in St. Pete. We spoke with her last week.
I think it's really taught me to trust my gut. The only times I get myself into trouble is when I don't trust myself and I don't go with that little gut feeling or that little internal voice. That's the only time that I get myself up a creek with no paddle.
You can see Charity on Survivor tonight at 8 o'clock, then at 11 on Nightside. Watch more of her story, including how she prepared for the show. Trust your gut. What's your gut telling you right now?
My gut's telling me we have beautiful weather all this week,
Yes.
right? And I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. But that's just my gut feeling. I don't know. 7-day forecast here. Temperatures in the upper 70s next couple of days. This weekend, a little bit cooler by a degree or two. Plentiful sunshine go around. We have a dry front that's moving in tomorrow. That will produce a few clouds, but